How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I unlocked the 99 overall retro finest Andrew McCutchen, and we also have some additional content to talk about, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So as you can see from this screenshot, I have completed the 18 vouchers necessary for Andrew McCutchen, and I'll be showing you that here in this video. And this card is much better than what I was expecting. I think that might be the first time in the history of MLB The Show where the developers actually gave the player better attributes than kind of what I was predicting. Usually, I kind of juice the card a lot more than they do. So that's a nice surprise. I am still a little bit disappointed in the collection itself. I'm also extremely confused with this 5-tool pack, as we have some pitchers, and a lot of these guys aren't even 5-tool players. So this to me is a little bit confusing, but we're going to take it for what it's worth. Some of these guys might have some value depending on what you're looking for. But at the same time, I honestly feel like the content in MLB The Show 22 has declined since the conclusion of the All-Star Game. And I know we've gotten a lot of content since then, but I just don't think it's been as consistent as it has been throughout the entire year. But this Andrew McCutchen is obviously a great card, right? There's no denying the fact that he is a 5-tool player. He is the best outfielder in the entire game. But I could probably think of 25 additional legends that I would prefer over Andrew McCutchen. But it is nice that we have a 99 overall super juiced up version of McCutchen. I did not think they would juice him that much against righties, and that's where I thought the card might be a little disappointing. But this card is definitely really good, obviously. Will be one of the top outfielders for the remaining portion of the game cycle, I would think. I just wish it was a legend card. I just wish it was a different player, even though I really like Andrew McCutchen. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and unlock this card. I'm going to try and see exactly how many of each card type I need. I wanted to see at first, do I have enough finest cards? Yes, but I'm not going to lock those in yet, because that voucher might be more expensive than some of these other vouchers that I have already started to complete, right? I don't want to necessarily lock in all of those cards because the market will react to this collection. I'm sure the McCutchen is better than what a lot of people were expecting, so that could affect the market. But they also released a bunch of future star cards, so I probably want to do that part of the collection for a voucher as well. So I'm going to look through some of this stuff. Tops Now, that's an easy voucher. I already have a ton of non-sellable cards there. We might have made some stubs with our Takashi investments, as you need 16 of them. I would expect a Takashi collection in the near future. I'm expecting a collection for these Takashi cards featuring an additional reward before the release of Madden 23. But I don't know. I would think that's the most logical thing to do, but I can't say that that's going to happen because I have been super confused with some of the decisions the developers have made over the last week and a half or so. But anyway, I'm trying to be as critical as I can while trying to remain positive with some of these things that have been a letdown for me personally, right? You might look at this and say, I wish I had this Andrew McCutchen card, and that might be true too, but I just wish it was somebody else. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. If you don't understand quite what I'm saying, for example, I was a lot more excited for the Jackie Robinson collection and all of the All-Star Game cards because Jackie Robinson has always been one of my favorite cards in MLB The Show. He's a legend that literally every single person knows. Even if you don't know about the game of baseball, you still know exactly who Jackie Robinson is because of his impact on the game. And I know Andrew McCutchen has had, World Baseball Classic experiences and has, represented the United States of America. But if you ask people that don't know a ton about baseball, there are people that play this game that don't know a ton about baseball. If you ask them, who is Andrew McCutchen? They might say, I've heard of him, but I have no idea who that is. Or if you ask somebody randomly on the street, who's Andrew McCutchen? They might know maybe one team that he played for. Might be the Pirates, might be the Phillies. But at the same time, I just feel like with the second part of the collection, we almost have to have, a big name, marketable guy to the game. And Andrew McCutchen is a really good card, right? And I just don't know if he's the other factors that I just mentioned. But I'm not going to talk about that anymore. I am going to use the card. I am going to continue to grind this game out. I actually had way more cards than what I needed to complete this collection. Probably spent about, 300,000, 400,000 stubs extra on some player cards, but I can always sell these cards back now that the collection has been released. Let me know what you think about all this content. Let me know what your thoughts are about the content since they released the All-Star Game Choice Pack, concluding the All-Star Game itself. But as I'm kind of talking about my thoughts about all this, I'm obtaining some of these vouchers. I wanted to make sure that I really wasn't locking in some super expensive cards when I didn't necessarily need to. I think I'll need them over time, but I don't necessarily want to lock them in right now. I want to lock in all my non-sellable cards. So that's why it's taken me a little bit longer to get all these vouchers. I don't want to mess this up. I did mess up a little bit last year in collecting the All-Star Game stuff for Shohei Ohtani. This year, I feel like I've done a little bit of a better job not collecting, World Series guys, certain Battle Royale rewards that I think might go up over time. Just things like that, right? Certain guys that I think might not be featured in a pack for a little bit. But I didn't really have a choice on some of them, right? Like the Sizzlin' Summer Bosses, those Takashi cards, I locked them in. Those cards are probably like $60K now, I would say. Maybe less. Who knows? I didn't really get a chance to take a look at the market. I just got home from work. I wanted to try and get this content up, talk about some of my thoughts. I am also going to complete the Mini Minoso program. And I just found it interesting that they released a 99 overall outfielder the same day they released a 99 overall collection reward. That's also an outfielder. Obviously, McCUTCHEN is much better than Mini Minoso. But if you don't have a lot of these cards, if you're not able to get Andrew McCutchen right now, just go with that Mini Minoso card. He's going to be a very good, free, very similar card to Roberto Clemente. And, it's a free option that probably would take, an hour or less to unlock. And some people have already unlocked it as I'm making this video at around 1 o'clock or so. So with that said, we're down to the last few vouchers. A lot of these vouchers here, breakout players, all-star cards, I'm going to need a lot more of these guys for the next part of this collection. So I don't really mind locking in diamonds here. I'm probably not going to sell them. They're not really going for a ton of stubs, or at least before this collection was released, they weren't. With that said, though, you're probably going to need most of these cards later on in the year for something. So it's not a bad idea to lock them in now. But right now, you don't have to complete this Andrew McCutchen. You can wait. There will be more cards released. I am expecting maybe another choice pack. We got this toolbox choice pack. I thought we might see a retro finest choice pack, but that was not the case. Maybe that's in the future. I kind of thought the developers missed out on an opportunity to give us a 98 overall O'Neal Cruz in the rare round of that 5-tool pack, but maybe they didn't want to give us multiple Pirates in one drop, right? We had the collection Andrew McCutchen. They didn't want to give us another amazing Pirate card in O'Neal Cruz, but those are types of things where you want to release cards that hype up the game after the game's been out for a couple of months, especially when other sports games that you would think rival this one are going to be released. But what do I know? What the heck do I know? I'm just a little bit confused about some of this stuff, but we're getting all the content. We're unlocking it all, and I am going to have fun playing with these cards, right? Like, that's a given. But I just want to let you know, right? These types of collections are probably the one time where you want to be the most critical about the game. These types of collections are for the biggest MLB The Show fans, and obviously over time, a casual player might be able to complete this if they're casually playing the game throughout the entire game cycle. I don't know. I feel like we missed out on a couple opportunities here, but these cards are still really good, right? Like, don't take what I'm saying as I'm just complaining about everything possible. This is the first time throughout the entire year that I've been this critical on the stuff, but that's because of my thoughts since the All-Star Game content. But that's really going to do it for this video. We got Andrew McCutchen, collected 18 out of 19 vouchers. The only one I don't have right now is the finest voucher, but I just added another card, and I could have redeemed that voucher if I wanted to. But that's going to do it for this video. I'm College Lefty, and we do have some July stuff happening later on next week, as well as another roster and more content, it looks like, another roster update. So look out for that stuff. We have double XP coming out too. So some of those All-Star Game bosses might actually go down in price as people are unlocking them. Depends on this collection though. That's going to do it. I'm College Lefty, and peace out.